Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today's town hall, the first one for 2022. And for those of you that haven't attended a town hall in the past, what we're going to do is similar to what we've done with all of our other town halls. All the questions that have been submitted by you, our membership. Craig will be answering those questions, and any questions, additional questions you have, you can submit throughout today's town hall. My name is Migdalia Gomez. I'm a community engagement manager here at the Harvard University Employees Credit Union. I'm joined with Sarah Scruggs, who is on the chat, and she'll also be answering some questions at the end, and Tom Montilli, our Chief Experience Officer, who in addition will also be help answer some questions. So before we get into the questions, a couple little logistics, just so that we're all on the same page as to how will today's town hall go. Well, what we've done is we've gone ahead and reduced noise, so everyone has been muted. You're able to just participate if you're eating lunch, if you have dogs barking in the background or have children that are playing, no worries, we will not hear that. But we do want to make sure that we get questions from you, that if you have something you want to comment, that we get to see those. So let's test that out now using the questions panel. Let us know, how long have you been a member and where are you joining us from? For example, it could be Boston, comma, 10 years. This is always one of my favorite parts. I don't know about you, Craig, just seeing how long have people been members. So let us know using the questions panel for how long have you been a member and where are you joining us from? 1989, Providence. Nice. Think so far you are winning. Okay, someone joined 2022. Okay, so we have a member that just joined, that's joining from Cambridge. 5 years, New Jersey. Nice. I like seeing we have people that are 3 states so far. So we have New Jersey, someone from Somerville, 1997. Wonderful. So just like you let us know that you're joining, where you're joining from and how long you've been a member, use that throughout today's presentation. So that way, if there is anything that we can clarify, please let us know. 15 years, Boston. Okay, so I think 1989 is still winning. Let's see if we have someone that's been a member for longer. And I think right now, New Jersey is also winning from the furthest away. But if you are further away or been a member for longer, do let us know. Also, a little information some of you will be getting, we are going to raffle off some HUECU swag boxes. So if you get an email asking for your mailing address from Sarah or myself, it's us. We are just asking so we can send you some swag. Also, this is being recorded, so if you miss a part or if you want to share this with someone afterwards, you can watch the recording on our YouTube channel, and Sarah will be putting that YouTube channel link on the chat so that you have it. I would recommend subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have a good amount of content there. We have information about similar to today's town hall. All of Craig's town halls are in a playlist. And we also have personal finance recordings there as well. So really encourage you to do that and just go into our YouTube channel and subscribe. And we'll have one quick little promotion for our event that we have coming up before I turn it over to Craig. We have a virtual home buying forum that is coming back. We used to do these in person, but are now doing it virtual for COVID safety. And we are going to have this event March 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. It's a 3-day event. We're going to hear from realtors, we're going to hear from appraisers, home inspectors, real estate attorneys, and our mortgage loan origination team. So if you're interested in purchasing a home, or maybe you're just curious about the market, we encourage you to join us. You can register online, huecu.org/home-forum, 3-day event. Anyone that registers will get the recording. So even if you're not able to attend all 3, register and we'll send you that information. Now, today is all about Craig answering questions. So who is Craig? Let me do a very quick introduction. Craig Leonard is our CEO and president. He has been with the credit union for many years, and prior to being our president was our CEO for a good amount of time. Craig has decades of experience in the financial industry. We're very fortunate to have Craig as our leader. Throughout his leadership, we've seen double-digit growth. We're one of the fastest growing credit unions in the country, and a lot of that is due to all the great leadership under Craig. So with that, I will really turn it over today to Craig to do a quick intro, and then I'll start asking questions when you're ready, Craig.
Right. Well, thanks so much, Migdalia, and thank you for joining. I don't know what number town hall this is now that we're doing, Migdalia. You know, I think we've been doing it pretty much when I started in this role, and I've been in this role for just under 2 years. Loving it, you know, and I'm lucky I get to work with people like Migdalia, so she makes me look good. So why don't we just jump right into it now, Migdalia?
Thanks, Craig. Okay, so the first question that we received from a member that we're going to answer today is, when will HUCU be raising saving rates?
I've got this question for years. It's been tough to be a saver for a long time now. Years ago, the Federal Reserve took a different stance in terms of interest rates, and they had been bringing rates down, probably down that 2018 level, where Fed funds or rates have really been anchored at zero. So it's not been the best of years to be a saver. It has been a phenomenal time, however, to be a borrower where money has been incredibly cheap to get. I think we're going to start to see a shift, and I think we're going to start to see that shift as the Federal Reserve has talked much more regularly about their stance on increasing interest rates. We may see the first increase in rates here next month in March. There has been a lot of talk in terms of how aggressive they will be, how many times they may intervene to start pushing rates upwards. And when they do, generally speaking, there tends to be a little bit of a lag between when the Federal Reserve starts to make a move with upward rates and when financial institutions start to move their deposit rates. So my guess is that you'll start to see, generally speaking, more financial institutions, and it may be with our organization as well, where you have to keep looking at the market and what's happening within our own balance sheet of when it would make sense. But I would say, generally speaking, you should start to see rates start to move up towards the second half of this year. And again, a lot of that will be predicated on how quickly and how much the Fed starts to intervene. But all indications are that will be the case.
We received another question about savings, and it seems our members, which we love, are very interested in savings. And I'm going to do a quick plug. We are part of America Saves Week, and we will have 2 presentations and a lot of helpful blog articles as part of savings. And you can register for that at hucu.org/America-Saves. And the next question, which was about savings, was, what options does HUCU offer for savings accounts?
Sure. And so for this one, we have a number of options out there for our membership. We have what I'll call a basic savings account, incredibly liquid. We have checking accounts, which are just certainly more transactional. Doesn't usually pay much of a rate of return, but I'm going to come back to that in one second. We have money market accounts. Money market accounts are generally for those who may not utilize the savings, may not transact on it nearly as much. Sometimes they have larger balances, and with those larger balances, typically rates are kind of tiered. So the more money you have, the higher rate you get. And then we also have what's called term certificates. So if you want to park your money with the credit union for a longer period of time, generally anywhere between 3 months and 5 years, we will pay you a higher rate for the longer term that we are able to maintain your funds on deposit. So those are generally the core savings accounts. And kind of going back to the question that was asked previously in terms of when rates are going to go up, one account that I would certainly recommend highly is a product that we actually came out with about a year ago, and it's our rewards checking account. And even though it's a checking account, it actually pays a premium yield of 2%. And honestly, you can't find a 2% vehicle out there that has that is highly liquid. So you can put your money in today, take it out tomorrow. It's extremely liquid. For that high yield, we do ask you to do a couple things. We ask you to do a small number of debit transactions on a monthly basis. We ask you to enroll in e-statements. We're trying to be a very green company. And we ask you to log on to our online banking. So we have a couple criteria for you to get that 2% level, but it's a very, very good savings product out there that you can utilize to really get the most yield for your money at this point in time.
Not only am I a credit union employee, but I'm also a credit union member, and I really do appreciate getting that 2% on my checking account. So highly encourage folks to look into that if you don't already have that with us. And the next question, we actually received it current live. So someone just submitted this question via the chat, worded a little bit different, but someone also submitted it as part of registering. Does the credit union offer investment service advice?
We don't right now. You know, this is a question that we have received from a lot of members over the last few years. And we're actually at a point now where within our planning sessions for 2022, our goal is to offer investment services. My hope is by the end of this calendar year. We've started to engage internally with a few partners out there within the financial services industry. So we're having those conversations now, and you know, based upon where we are, based upon the time that we feel that we need to get the program up and established, I'm pretty confident that by the fourth quarter of this year, we'll be able to offer investment services to the membership. You know, something that's been asked, like I said, by a number of members for a number of years, and I think it's an important addition to the services that we offer today.
Craig, that just got a yes, all caps, exclamation. Perfect. So folks are excited about that.
Yeah, that one's a long time coming. You know, I wish we could have done something maybe a little earlier, but it's right for the organization. I think the members are gonna love it. You know, the process that we're going through right now is really making sure that we pick the right partner for us as an organization, but more importantly, the right partner that can help our members.
Similar to the investment theme, we had a member ask, can I roll over my last job's retirement plan into an IRA at HUECU?
You can, and I would encourage you to reach out to one of our, go into our retail establishment, one of our branches. They'll be able to help you, direct you to one of our IRA specialists. And this kind of goes back to the investment services. You know, I think as we start to bring investment services as an additional service for our memberships, I think situations like this that this member has in terms of their retirement plan will provide more options, you know, more attractive options than maybe what we can do. We offer from an IRA standpoint an account that is essentially like an IRA savings account, and then we offer IRA term certificates. But if you want, you know, a wider array of options, the addition of these investment services is really going to be important.
Does HUECU consider the environmental impacts of its investments?
You know, we're blessed as an organization that what we generally do is that as we take deposits into the organization, we lend them out, you know, to other members. So in the form of loans, and roughly 80 to 85% of our balance sheet today is loans. So it's the vast majority of the business that we do. We're very proud of that. It's the business model that we try to run. We try to give out as much as we can in terms of loans. So what that means is we have very little left that we actually put into our investment portfolio. Our investment portfolio represents, you know, roughly anywhere between 10 and 15% of our balance sheet, depending, you know, kind of ebbs and flows a little bit. But those investments are government securities. They're generally U.S. Treasuries, or they're agency securities. And so we do not invest in any type of companies that have any type of environmental impacts at all.
Thank you, Craig. And for members that are in the Cambridge area or at close to any of our other branches, we recently started a battery recycling program. So if you have household batteries or any small batteries. That's one way, one of the many ways that we are continuously thinking about our environment and sustainability. You could just drop those off at the branch.
We also, maybe Miguel, you might be better off explaining this one to the members than I would, but we also have internally with our own employee group, we have a recognition program in which, as we recognize coworkers, those coworkers have the ability to generate seeds in which a third party plants seeds on behalf of those recognitions that are received. So we're very much thinking of how we can make this planet a little bit better.
Thank you, Craig. Yes, and we'll continue to think of other ways as well. Another question that came in is HUCU considering student loan forgiveness? I know this is a popular one we get, Craig.
Yeah, we get a lot of comments on student loans. And the student loan forgiveness programs still are generally at the federal loan programs. And just a reminder for the members, the program that we offer here at the credit union are private student loans. So we don't have a specific student loan forgiveness program. That being said, I know that a lot of student loan borrowers are challenged. And so if you find yourself in that situation, and I say this on all these calls, please reach out to our student loan department. We want to help. I'm really proud that we don't have a cookie cutter approach. Your circumstance may be very different than the next borrower, and the way we treat you and your situation may be different than the next one. And so, our goal is to get that loan back into repayment and get it so it's affordable for you. So we will do our best to work with you in solving some of your student loan challenges if you're having some.
Greg, I did a little bit of investigating while you were answering the student loan question, and as of this year, the credit union employees have planted 818 trees through the Evergreen program that you mentioned earlier.
Fantastic. Yeah, thank you.
With the weather warming up and hopefully going on road trips, someone asked, can the credit union help with financing a vehicle?
Yeah, we sure can. I think we do a lot here talking about how well we do with mortgages. The mortgage part of our business is the most significant. After that, we do a lot of student loans, but we also do auto financing as well. And so we very much can help you. We do new autos, we do used autos, we'll refinance an auto. So if you get your financing originally, let's say through the dealership, and you want to look to see if we can offer you a better deal, we can do that as well. I think it was last year, in fact, that we've extended some of our kind of, I'll say, vehicle financing, if you want to call it that. But we also offer now financing for RVs. We found that during the pandemic, people's vacation patterns changed a little bit, and there was really this explosion in people wanting to purchase RVs. So we do that, and we also do boat lending. So if you want to take your boat out on the Atlantic or maybe up on Lake Winnipesaukee, we can help you finance your boat.
It's like not only are people interested in driving around more, but they're also traveling internationally, which makes sense. So we had a member that asked, can I use my HUCU card while traveling internationally?
Yeah, and I'm with them. I would like to travel internationally myself. I think we've all been locked in our houses way too long. You can absolutely use your card while traveling. And I guess what I would recommend is that we have a cards app. And if you haven't downloaded our cards app, maybe Migdalia, we can put that as a link. And within there's some cool functionality in which you can put travel notifications. You can turn off your card. It just allows that when you're traveling, you can have more safeguards as you are traveling abroad to protect you. But our cards can absolutely be used while you're traveling overseas. And I hope you have a wonderful trip.
I just want to let folks know we have about 4 questions last that members submitted earlier that I'll be asking Craig, but if you have any other questions, we have about 10 minutes left, so I do think we'll have time if folks did have any other questions, and if we cannot get to them live, we will definitely email you after today's presentation. Can I refinance my mortgage with HUECU?
Yeah, absolutely. I had mentioned this. This is probably this is the largest part of our business today. Is the mortgage part of our business. We're really proud of it. Migdalia, when she first started, talked about our upcoming forum that'll be happening soon. If you have an opportunity to participate in that, I would encourage. We always get such great feedback from our members who participate. But absolutely, we've got a great list of mortgage loan officers who can help you through your refinance process. Not that I try to predict rates, but interest rates have been heading higher. And so if this is something that you've been contemplating, I would encourage you to start to think hard about refinancing if you've been saying it's one of those things I'm going to eventually get to, because rates are definitely headed up. They've been heading up probably over the last 60 days at least. So try to take advantage of that while rates are still low.
When will the branch reopen at the School of Public Health?
We hope soon. We are in constant communication with the folks over at the School of Public Health. Like the university and a lot of organizations, they've been cautious, and rightfully so through the pandemic. And so we're hopeful that as more positive news comes out in terms of the pandemic and kind of opening things up, that the School of Public Health will be reaching out to us and allowing us to open our doors once again. We're ready. We've got a lot of questions around this over the past several months from our members who utilize that branch. So we're ready and hopeful that we'll get the nod to open our doors very soon.
What technology upgrades are planned for 2022?
Yeah, I would say that we really have two kind of major technology upgrades planned. One started back in terms of internal kind of preparation back in 2021, and it has to do with the mortgage part of our business. We have this the system where a borrower would engage with us, and it was okay, but it's just not great, and the new system that we're moving towards, which should be released by the end of the first quarter, has a much better user experience. Going through the mortgage process is not fun. It's not easy. I won't lie to you. It's complicated. So we really looked at partnering with a vendor that could make that experience so much better than what we had before. On the back end, it also makes us more efficient. So we should be able to do the transaction that much faster for you as well. So that's one that we're really excited about. The second one is just helping us or improving the digital experience within our mobile and our website platforms. So, we're going to start to incorporate chatbots this year and also live chat. And so we'll be doing that progressively throughout 2022. And we have a real focus on continuing to improve that digital experience that you have when you engage with us.
The members will be very excited to have these new upgrades. I know that we are excited talking about it at the credit union as well.
Yeah, that one's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that one.
So this is the last question that we have, and before I turn it over to Sarah, who may have some other questions that came in live during today's town hall. If you do have any other questions, do submit them now so that we can get to them. But the last question that was submitted prior to the town hall was, how are credit unions faring in the pandemic economy?
Yeah, better than originally thought, I guess this is the very short answer. We all struggled a little bit, when the pandemic first was announced. We were very busy here at the credit union helping a lot of borrowers who were out of work for a period of time. So we did a lot of work with loan modifications and forbearances, and we weren't alone doing that within the kind of credit union industry or even the banking industry as a whole. Throughout 2021, the industry has seen improvements in lending. I just read a report actually this morning that lending was up about 7.5% within the industry last year. Deposits were up roughly 13% within the industry last year. And importantly too was that members there were vast improvements in delinquency. So borrowers' ability to repay their debts improved remarkably from 2020 into 2021, and that's great news. So we've seen, certainly strengthening of consumers' spending habits. They're a little bit more optimistic about what's been happening within their own personal finances. And for us as an institution, 2021 was a strong year for us. The mortgage market, where I've mentioned a few times already today, is a big strength of ours. It stayed very strong through the majority of 2021, and that helped our earnings tremendously last year. We saw another year of double-digit asset growth. That 2021 was our 6th consecutive year of double-digit asset growth. Migdalia, when she first introduced me, she spoke very briefly about how fast the organization has been growing, and that's been the case. We are exceptionally proud of how fast we've been growing in terms of our assets and our deposits, but that's largely the trust that the members have placed into us. We can only be successful if we're doing the right thing by our members, and I think the way we've grown, both in size and in terms of profitability, is a reflection of that trust back to us. So thank you for helping us. But another really stellar year, and again, from a regional standpoint, the credit union tends to perform in the top quartile, both regionally and nationally.
Okay, Greg, I'm going to turn it over to Sarah. I know we had some questions, and I think we have a couple of minutes left, but I know we could do a rapid fire answer session if you don't mind.
Craig, just a couple of questions that have come in. One that I think will speak to many members, even if this particular state doesn't apply to them, but can HUECU make standard or reverse mortgages on properties in New York?
Okay. We're not in New York as of yet, so we are making a real effort in expanding our geographic reach for mortgages. And last year, we were able to expand our reach throughout the New England states. We have started working in New York. Truthfully, New York is a bit of a more complicated state to work with, so there's a little bit more work on our part than originally thought. But we're determined to get in there. We know we have a lot of members who reside in New York, and so we would love to help them out. We're also looking at where our members currently reside and looking at those states. So, our strategy will really be looking at, where our members live and looking at getting into those states so that we can really provide the best value to those members. But New York, we're going after New York.
Be there soon. Another question that came in, is HUECU going to expand physical locations in the future?
We don't have anything immediately planned. We are always looking, however. One of the challenges that we have is kind of the makeup of our membership. We're largely based upon our eligibility, largely kind of a bank at work type of credit union. So, because of the affiliation with the university, our physical locations need to be are generally around the university or around the hospitals in the medical area. We are looking a little bit more over in the medical area to see if there is a better base. You know, we have found some challenges certainly with getting back into the School of Public Health, and so that's, you know, made us kind of rethink of maybe what our branch strategy needs to be over in that region. So we're looking over there, but that's kind of all in the planning stage at this point.
Thanks so much, Craig. And I think a lot of what I'm hearing is excitement for the future from our members. And it's something that I'm excited about as an employee, but also as a member myself. So first, thank you so much for everything today. And we want to thank our members for being here and answering these questions. If there's anything that comes up in the future, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We are available via email and online, so we would love to help in any way we can. Thanks everyone for being here, and we hope you have a wonderful Friday and a wonderful weekend.